Hey everybody, welcome back to Small Talk Japan. On this show we talk about all things Japan in English. My name is Mitch and I'm here with
Natsuki.
Long time no see, Natsuki.
You said last time I was on the show was 4 months ago?
I think it's 4 months ago.
Is this true?
I don't know. I looked at the YouTube channel, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I went to, so if you guys are just listening to this on Spotify, we also have a YouTube channel where you can see our beautiful faces. Mm-hmm. My beautiful face has a lot of pimples right now because I ate junk food the other day.
I want to put my lipstick on. I look pale.
While I'm looking, so I went to Small Talk Japan, our YouTube channel, and the last episode that you were on was, let's see, I think it was 3 months ago. So that was Ricky. All right, so
February then?
Maybe February. That's also Ricky.
Yeah. A lot of time Ricky's on the show.
Yeah, Ricky's on the show the most because he's, there it is. So yeah, 4 months ago. It says right there. 4 months ago.
Oh, yeah, my hair is shorter.
Yeah, your hair is now, short. Yeah. See, you haven't been on here for 4 months. What are we going to do?
I was surprised.
I want to talk about something. Well, first of all, let's roll the intro. Where have you been, Miss Natsuki?
Yeah, where have I been? I've been busy with my kids' new job. Like, I don't even know what I was doing. I'm good. I'm here. Hello, everybody. This is Natsuki.
Well, it's always good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I noticed something. I was looking at the analytics for this show, the data on the show, and it turns out that a big part of our audience are Japanese people.
Oh, really?
I was surprised too. I did not.
So before, many people from overseas.
Our biggest audience is obviously English-speaking people from abroad, but there's also a big number of Japanese speakers who listen to the show.
Oh, good.
So I want to talk about two things. One, you started a new job.
Right.
What's your new job?
I can't tell you the details because, once I start speaking about new job, I will say something that I'm not supposed to say. That's me, right? Okay, mic closer.
Yeah, that is you.
Yeah, too much information.
Let's just say that you have a new job that you use English.
Right. I got a chance to speak English like more than before.
So that's one. And then two, can you talk about your English coaching?
Yeah, sure. I do English coaching with my clients, Japanese clients, and then they wanted to speak English. But like most of my clients, they are good. Sometimes they do better than I do. Seriously. But they have no guts to speak out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they don't want to make mistake, or they are embarrassed to speak in front of people or things like that.
Yeah.
So they see me, and then I tell them that I always make mistakes, but it's good. So don't worry about it. And they come to me somehow.
Because you're not an English teacher, you're an English coach.
Yeah, so, I'm not a teacher.
So the difference is that you're there for like a motivation and support and to help them make a plan.
Exactly.
Right. So if there's anybody who's listening to the show who is Japanese and they want to maybe get in touch with you for English coaching, how can we find you?
It sounds like her FM show that we did before.
We used to be on the radio.
Yeah, used to be on the radio.
I was on the radio for like 10 years, and then I was just like, can I quit? I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Can I stop?
And then I have a homepage actually that you made.
You do.
And but Instagram is better, I think. So find me on the Instagram, search what's my name?
Natsuki _ something.
English coach Natsuki, I guess.
Natsuki.
Yeah.
You can also find her homepage. Here it is. It's Natsuki.coach.
Oh my God.
Natsuki.coach.
Natsuki.coach.
Oh, who is this person? Look at you. You look all professional.
I do.
Oh my
With
goodness.
my jacket.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, if you're interested in that, that's how you get in touch with Natsuki, is her Instagram or her homepage. Let me pull up your Instagram. I have to go to the other one. Here,
English coach. Oh, what's the name again? I'm not sure.
I'll find it.
Okay. But anyway, so if you're listening to me out there and then if you wanted to speak English with confidence, just come to me because I will give you some tips.
Her Instagram is English coach. There it is. English coach, one word, _ Natsuki. All right.
Right.
There you go. Okay. That's enough of that. Let's get to the news.
Okay.
There's been a lot of car accidents.
sadly.
I should not laugh about this, but it's just weird. So let's start off with the first one. I mean, there's two that involve foreigners, and then there's one that involves a Japanese older lady. One is like a 42-year-old Chinese man who committed, supposedly committed a hit and run involving elementary school children in Misato City, Saitama Prefecture. So there's a video on this. I don't know if we should show the video. There's nothing graphic, but it's just like there was I don't like to show like people's suspects' faces until they. So yeah, this is the big clip. Like you can see the aftermath of what happened is that there's this giant SUV size vehicle. Here it is. So this vehicle here has hit a couple of the children over here. I don't think there were any like major injuries, but they were a little bit hurt. And then after the incident happened, you can see him. I don't know if they'll show it in this video, but he'll just like take off.
And then he also drunk.
Yeah,
drunk and drive.
Yeah, drunk driving. And then there's like a video of him. I think they just like take off. So that's not cool. Don't do that, guys. So there's not a lot of details on this yet, but in the hit and run incident in Misato City, Saitama Prefecture, where 4 elementary school children were injured, the police have arrested a 42-year-old Chinese male subject in suspicion of hit and run and other charges for allegedly driving a car, hitting children, and fleeing the scene. Police are planning thorough investigation, blah, blah, blah. Why did he leave the scene?
Well, it reminds me something. Can I tell you that?
Sure.
So like long time ago, maybe more than 5 years ago, I once hit elementary school boy. I ran over.
We talked about this on the show, I think, but yeah,
we did.
Give us the details. So you were driving, and you weren't drunk.
No, I wasn't at all. Of course
normally
not.
Driving.
Yeah, and then the boy was on the bicycle, and he couldn't stop. He didn't know how to stop the bicycle,
Yeah.
so there was no like light. And then, so I didn't see him, so I touched his bicycles.
You tapped him.
Yeah, I tapped him.
You stopped, and then it just kind of bumped him a little bit.
Exactly.
It wasn't a major.
No, it wasn't a major accident. But so of course no injured at all. But he said, so he was crying, of course, because he got surprised.
Yeah.
And then he said he had a scratch just a little bit, and then he said, "I'm okay." And then he tried to run away from me because he thought he's
gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, and then I was in panic too because it was my first time, hitting with little kid, and
right.
Of course. And then he was trying to run away from him, but I told him to stop, don't go away. And then I called the police and the ambulance. And I did everything
correctly.
Right, yeah, correctly. But like at the moment, I thought just a little bit because he's saying okay, I can let him go. You know what I mean?
This is always the problem with that, is that let's say that you did that and he runs home and tells mom. Now, let's say mom is like a little bit of a crazy person. She might make a big story out of it, go to the police and say a bunch of things. And because you didn't call the police then, there's no evidence.
Right.
So they can just say anything that they want. So
That's
it's
right.
always important to call the police.
Call the police.
And make a record.
So I feel now good that I did that, but I could have done like wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
The other thing that you should do is also make sure you have a drive recorder, the camera.
That's right.
They're cheap. They're so cheap now, and it makes so much difference.
Right.
Especially if the other person's saying like, "Oh, it's not my fault," having the recorder is really, really important.
That's right. That's the fact.
You should get one. Definitely
I should get
one.
Right.
So moving on, there's another car accident. So there is. Let's put it on the screen. Here we go. So we've got a 22-year-old South Korean man, supposedly, that is involved in another. Let's see, it says, a South Korean man has been arrested for allegedly hitting a woman with his car at an intersection in Shibuya World in Tokyo and then fleeing the scene. The woman died after being struck by a following truck immediately after standing up. So I'm not going to read his name. 22-year-old South Korean resident of some city in Japan was arrested on suspicion of negligent driving resulting in injury and hit and run. He is suspected of hitting a 29-year-old female company employee who was crossing a pedestrian crossing at the JR Shinjuku station on a national highway intersection in the early hours of yesterday, causing her injury with the car's side mirror and then fleeing the scene. The woman subsequently stood up but was immediately hit by a truck traveling behind, and she died at the hospital where she was taken.
No way. That's too sad. Is he the Korean guy? Is he living in Japan or just visiting?
Yeah, he's living in Japan.
Oh, okay.
And so
he got scared. Maybe that's why he ran away.
It's also what I think they might had a statement from him after that, and what it was is like so he hit this person. I think she was in a pedestrian crossing, and he kind of hit her with the side mirror of his car. So maybe he thought that it was not that big of a deal or something like that. I'm not sure. And then the problem is that when she fell down, the truck behind them didn't see her or whatever, and then that was the big problem. So it's really tragic, but at the same time, it's like they need to have an investigation to see if there was any what happened.
That's right. And if you need to investigate, you need to have a record.
Drive recorder. It's really, really important.
Yeah, it's important.
So those are two car accidents involving non-Japanese nationals, but then we also have one that's involving a 74-year-old Japanese woman who got into a car accident with some elementary school students. Again, and this is in Fukuoka Prefecture. So this one is on the afternoon of May 19th, a light passenger vehicle crashed into a group of elementary school children in Fukuoka, resulting in 5 people, including a 9-year-old boy, being taken to the hospital. According to the fire department, the incident occurred around 3:30 p.m. It was a light passenger car. Doesn't seem like anybody life-threatening injuries, but yeah.
Yeah. That kind of accident often happen in Japan. That's why elderly people need to go to driving school every year. Over 75
years old. I think it's after 75, yeah.
Yeah, and then
when I got my my driver's license renewed, there was a guy who was in front of me, and I think he was 99 years old.
Oh my goodness.
But he seemed like totally cool.
Okay.
He was like good, Genki as hell. I was like, okay, whatever. You're fine.
Yeah, but still, 99 years old is too old to drive a car, don't you think?
I think so. And I also think that it's really difficult to drive a car in Japan. I think if you're watching us from North America, driving in North America is so easy compared to Japan.
Because they have bigger
roads, wider roads. It's just you can see where you're going for miles. Japan, half the time you're just like, I hope I'm doing this right. It's crazy hard to drive here. There's so much information everywhere. There's so much signage. It's really difficult.
All right.
So if you're old, but I'm pretty sure this guy just lives in the countryside. That's fine. But driving in the city is challenging.
Yeah.
Let's move out of driving. University of Tokyo professors demanded sexual entertainment totaling 20 million yen to continue joint research, but the contract was terminated.
Wow. Sometimes頭がいい smart people go crazy. Now, remember there was a news that professor of Osaka University tried to 盗撮 how do you say that? 盗撮盗む取る secretly take a photo.
Is hidden filming, voyeurism.
Yeah, so some professors from Osaka University done that before, and I remember the news. But this time, Tokyo University is the best university in Japan.
Yeah, I suppose. This is on the 16th. The Japan Cosmetic Association and others filed lawsuit in the Tokyo District Court against the University of Tokyo. A male professor, 61, and a male specially appointed associate professor, 45, seeking a total of approximately 42 million yen in damages, alleging that they were forced to provide expensive dining and drinking entertainment by professors from the University of Tokyo Graduate School and Medicine in connection with joint research and the university, but the research contract was unilaterally terminated.
I'm kind of curious what kind of a prostitution place is like, because there are many.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, it's I believe it's not a normal one, very special prostitution place. Is my English okay? Prostitution?
Let's just go with that. It's my prostitution place. I don't know. I don't touch any of that stuff. It's just not my thing.
I know, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's some of my guy friends like to do shit like that. I'm just like, okay, have fun. I don't know. It's not
it must be a very expensive one.
Dude, yeah. No comment.
Okay.
All right, let's switch gears. We're going to talk about tourism for a second here. We refuse Chinese customers because they have no manners. Controversial Japanese yakitori restaurant posts apology, but end up closing down.
Oh.
So this is the yakitori restaurant in question. You can see here that they have a sign.
What did they do?
They weren't letting Chinese people in the restaurant.
I mean, what did the Chinese people do in the shop?
I don't know. There's probably normal Chinese people. I'm not trying to be racist here, China. I'm not. But man, like, okay, here's my thing. If you got a bunch of Americans in one place together, like in Tokyo, they'll act like assholes and it'll be a problem. So it's not about the race or whatever. But because the Chinese tourists come in these big waves, these big groups, it can be kind of problematic. So I understand the annoyance, but you can't just target race people.
Yeah. And then why they close down the shop?
Because they got harassed for this.
Oh, okay.
And it said the top comment on this is, instead of going for no rude customers allowed or no non-polite customers will not be served or need to leave, they choose the worst way possible. It's written right there. And I agree. I think that, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love Americans. There's some fucking rude Americans out there. And when you get a giant group of them, they can be really annoying. But it's not because Americans are bad. Most Americans, your average American, is a really cool person.
Right.
Same thing with the Chinese, right? When you put them in a big group together, they can, especially since they usually talk louder because of the language, the way that the language is, it could just be loud and kind of difficult to deal with. But that's just because they're in a huge group in a foreign country. It's not because they're bad people. When I was in China, I was only there for a couple hours, but everybody except for the airport staff were really bad, but the average person was really nice.
Why the people in airport was bad?
I don't know. Ask the Chinese. They were really fucking rude. But the average person that like at the shops and like the people that were just like in line and stuff like that, they're all super cool. And I've had, I've had ex-girlfriends who are Chinese. It's nothing wrong with Chinese people. Especially the food. The food's fucking amazing. But dude, every time I shouldn't say that. Let's just say that some Chinese people from some places come to Japan and then they shit on mainland Chinese people. And I'm just like, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
It always happened. And even us Japanese, when I went to Europe with my friends, we were kind of like big group.
Of Japanese?
And, Japanese. And then we went into the very silent church, but we talked a lot with big voice and I got shh.
You got shushed?
Yeah, shh.
Well, actually, so here's a fun fact. So when I went to the what is it called, the Sakura Familia in Spain?
Oh, right.
I went with my two Asian high school friends.
Yeah.
Right, one's Japanese, one's Chinese, and ethnically they're both Americans. But there's this actual church part of the church, the real church part, and they had these two they're not security guards, but they're staff, and they were checking to see if you're really Catholic to go in or not go in, because it's not a tourist place. It's actual for Catholics to pray. And so the three of us go to walk in there, and the two Asians get stopped. They're like, no, you guys can't come in here. But I was just able to go through.
Discrimination.
But they asked them, are you Catholic? And they said no.
I see.
But they didn't ask me.
Why.
They just went, and I was just like, that's weird.
I see.
It wasn't really
Can I, if I got a chance to go to Sagrada Familia, can I?
Just say you're Catholic. Just yes.
Okay.
Lie in the church. Lie.
Okay.
But anyway, it wasn't that, I went inside there and it's oh, okay, goodbye.
How was it?
Nothing special.
Nothing special. Because it looks very giant, but inside?
Oh, no. The whole place was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But just that little place that only the Catholics can go to, which I'm not a Catholic, by the way, was nothing special.
Okay.
I was just okay, because you're actually just supposed to pray there. And so I pretended to pray. I was I'm praying. I was am I doing it right? All right, bye everybody. Third generation Korean resident of Japan with permanent residency files lawsuit against Japanese hotel for refusing to let her stay after refusing to show her passport. So this is kind of annoying. And this is probably not because the hotel was being racist. It's probably just because the staff were not trained properly. But if you stay in a Japanese hotel and you are a tourist, they are either required or everybody has the same. I think they're required to take a photocopy of your passport for some reason. I don't remember why. But if you're a permanent resident like me, and you go to the hotel and then they look at you, they'll do two things. They'll speak to you in really shitty English, because they always do. And then they'll ask me for my passport. And I always tell them, I don't have my passport because I'm a permanent resident. I'm a permanent resident. Here's my driver's license.
You say that in Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're oh, most of the time, 99% of the time, they're oh, cool, thank you. And then other times they'll ask their manager, but it's never been a problem. So,
Okay.
but this person had a problem, and they're filing a lawsuit.
So I was in Osaka last week, and then it was like last time I went to Osaka was before COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like for the first time in 5 years or 6 years. Anyway, everything has changed. Even not even Umeda, especially Umeda.
Mm-hmm.
It's so, to me, it was future. Many tall buildings and so many tourists from other places. I mean, foreign people. And I felt like I was in some Asian country, not in Japan.
I went to Osaka a year ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago? A year ago. And there was a lot of foreign tourists there.
And
Lots.
especially this year, they have Expo,
right?
right?
Yeah.
So it was.
Did you go to the expo?
No, I didn't. I wanted to.
Did you go to Shin Osaka area?
No. Only Umeda and some other.
Yeah, there's so many big giant buildings in Osaka now. It's like, yeah. And actually, when was the last time you went to not Shinjuku, Shibuya? When was the last time you went to Shibuya?
I go to Tokyo frequently, but I only go to like office places.
Yeah,
so,
like when was the last time you went to Shibuya? When?
No.
Go. It's the future. It's
Okay.
crazy. The
Is it?
Shibuya sky and everything. Oh, it's crazy.
Wow.
That whole area is like really cool now.
Yeah, it reminds me of the movie of Doraemon, the Stand By Me Doraemon. You know that
Never
movie
watched
is?
it. I don't do anime.
But anyway, so everybody was riding on the, how do you call it? Dendo scooter, like motor scooter?
Electric scooter.
Electric
Scooter.
Scooter. Boom.
Yeah, which is actually a problem because they need license plates now.
Oh, okay.
Because there was so much trouble with them in the
Yeah,
past.
I believe so. It was scary.
That's right. I like go travel all over the place and go to the big cities all the time. You haven't gone in a long time, so it must be like, wow.
Yeah, it was. I felt very I felt someone who is from countryside.
Well,
yeah.
you are someone
Yeah,
from the
I am.
countryside.
That's true.
Let's talk about the opposite of someone from the countryside. So the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries, Eto, said in a speech that he has never bought rice.
バカだよね.
So this-
バカだよね. How do you say that in Japanese? I mean English.
Stupid. He's stupid. So where's the article for this? So if you haven't been following, rice in Japan is incredibly expensive now. Mm-hmm. And it's because, here we go. It's because it's probably because a lot of people on the internet, I'm not making this claim. I'm just going to say that I'm going to report that a lot of people on the internet say that JA is just hiking up the price. And that's the only reason why rice is expensive. They've blamed everybody. They say you guys eat too much rice. Foreign people eat too much rice. Blah, blah, blah. They've said all this stuff, but it's probably not true. I don't know. We'll see. But
For farmers?
yeah, we don't know. Some of the farmers said that they're having a hard time, or they were having a hard time, so they need to up the price. But whatever. It's just really, really expensive right now for rice. Okay.
Right.
So at this point, like a lot of Japanese people are feeling it. It's painful for them, and so like during this time, so the Mr. Eto, whatever his name is, where is he? Said he's never bought. There he goes, Eto. He's like, I've never bought rice before.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. I'm
Yeah.
funny.
It's a big scandal. Is
Yeah.
it? Should I say scandal?
It's not a
It
became a big story.
Yeah, big story. He said he thought it's funny to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making fun. It was a
we say
joke.
out of touch.
Out of touch.
Out of touch. He's like, he doesn't feel the pain of like your average person.
No.
You know, so yeah, it's big news. And at the same time, while this is all happening, something really funny happened. Here we go. Eon is now selling Calrose rice from California.
Actually, you posted on your Instagram last week.
I was trying to remember when I was like, me and Ricky were talking about this last show, and I was trying to remember what rice my mom bought in America.
Yeah.
And it's Calrose rice.
How's the taste?
Exactly the same as Japanese rice.
Oh, cool.
It's
That's
Japanese
cool.
rice grown in California.
Wow.
So anyway, so they started importing California rice, and it's way cheaper.
Good.
So I don't know what Jay is going to do now.
Like just back to normal
don't-
price?
I don't know.
Or like they import, some other countries like Japanese rice for rich people.
I mean, like it's so expensive. Like you get a 5 kilogram bag of rice is like 5,000 yen right now or something like that. It's so crazy.
So my kids used to leftover. How do you say that? Nokosu.
Leave leftovers.
Leftovers. Like I serve them like much rice and they don't eat it. But now I feel like it's a もったいないですよ. What a waste because rice is very expensive. So I もう一回チャーハンにする.
You make it into fried rice.
I make the
fried rice.
Fried rice.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's just echo. That's just good.
Equal. Right. Equal.
The top comments on this news story on Reddit from username Shinzo Abe.
Okay.
I'm reading a comment. It says, "Fuck JA. Honestly, this shit of 5 kilograms being 4,000 to 5,000 yen is literally a fucking joke. A decade ago, 5,000 yen got you 10 kilograms of what is this? Koshihikari.
Yeah, it's a brand.
We truly are living in the worst fucking timeline. People that don't make 6-figure, including myself, honestly, shit's been so rough the last couple of months." So here's another comment. JA president comes under fire for claiming a bowl of rice is cheaper than a convenience store sandwich. And the top comment on that is, why is this guy comparing math for uncooked rice you get from the supermarket versus a sandwich from a convenience store? Is his brain broken?
Anyway, rice is important for Japanese people.
Yeah, and it's expensive right now. I don't eat rice. Well, I do when I go to restaurants. I eat genmai, which is unpolished rice. It's like brown rice, I guess. I don't know what
it's not taste good, right? Is it?
I have so little concern for that. Usually the stuff that I make, I mean, if I'm making food for guests, I'll make good food. But for me, it's just about protein and then the vegetables and then carbs.
So you don't care about taste?
Nah, I don't give a fuck. I eat the same thing every day. I don't care.
Okay.
All right. There's still stuff. Let's see. Okay. I love the title of this. It says, Mata. So 2 Chinese people went up to Mount Fuji and had to be rescued recently. You guys are not supposed to be there. There's got barricades. You're not supposed to go up there. Let's see if there's a translation of this. It says,
Mata. Okay.
A third party called the police after they saw a social media post that one of the Chinese students was experiencing hypothermia near the 7th station and couldn't move. A rescue team was dispatched, but the students were found 2 hours later, 4 hours after the call, at the 5th station where they had descended on their own and they were uninjured. So 2 Chinese students were...
It's not only Chinese people, right? Many people get sick.
Yeah, there's...
I saw the news and then the Shizuoka prefecture or Yamanashi prefecture, they send Harry to rescue them, right?
Yeah.
The Harry fee is very expensive.
So they didn't charge. There was this one Chinese student. I'm not shitting on Chinese people. I'm pointing this out. There was a Chinese exchange student who went up Mount Fuji, got rescued, and then was like, "Oh, I forgot my phone," and went up again and got rescued again. It's just like, dude.
Stupid.
So they're talking about charging people for this kind of stuff, like for the helicopter fee and stuff like that. I think that they should, because it's just dumb. If you ignore all the barriers and go up to Mount Fuji when you're not supposed to be there and you get sick, it's your fault.
But if we abandon them, what will happen?
They'll die.
And then it's whose fault?
No, we should still get them, but I'm just like, we should charge them money. Or there should be some sort of penalty.
Right.
I don't want to read that story. That one.
And don't.
Yeah, it's just kind of... Dude, there's just so much stuff on China today. I'm just going to skip these stories. I don't want to shit on Chinese people. Oh, okay. Here we go. British tourist. There we go. British tourist couple who entered the mountains of Hokkaido in short sleeves and shorts called for rescue, saying they couldn't move due to the cold. They were rescued by a police helicopter.
Stupid.
See, it's not just the Chinese.
Yeah. なんか舐めたらダメだよ. How do you say that in English? Don't underestimate.
Don't underestimate
their challenge.
So, all right. Now, I think the reason why this is happening is not because of again, they're foreign and they're just stupid. I think it's because we just have so much tourism that the more tourists that you have, the more dumb. If 1 out of every 10,000 tourists is stupid, and you have a lot of tourists, and you have a lot of stupid tourists. That's, I think, the problem. All right, let's try to find a good, fun story to end on, because none of those were fun. You know, every time I want a funny story, I go to Sora News 24. It's actually really good. If you guys don't go there, it's funny. All right, we'll end the show today on a very wholesome news story. So it starts off with a bad title, but it's actually pretty wholesome. Japan's rental high school student project is more wholesome than it sounds. Good for the community.
What is this? Well, okay.
It's not bad. Listen. So what this is a program that it's a high school in Ueda, Nagano Prefecture. Okay, it's the Chikuma High School, and what they want to do is, what their goal is. This is, I think, a 1-year-old program, and they're still continuing. What they want to do is that people in the community who need help can rent high school students who come in like groups of 2 or 3 to help the community with like housework or things that maybe older people can't do.
It's a good story, though.
So yeah. So these people come out and they meet the community, and they get to volunteer and help them do things, and then they become better connected to the community, local community.
Good, but wait, back to the Sora News 24. Let me see the picture again. This picture misread people.
Yes. But yeah, so it's a really good program, and so they they dispatch to help around the community, especially with senior citizens and things like that. It says I want people.
What wonderful news!
So it says one of the people interviewed said, "I want people to know about this program and how it promotes senior citizens' physical and mental well-being." This is a high school student talking about this, because they get to communicate with the older people who probably haven't met people for a long time, or don't they need the help or whatever. So I think it's really cool.
It is cool.
Stuff like that is dope. I like doing that stuff. I wish there was more opportunities for me to volunteer in our local community. It's not really a lot. I used to do a lot of volunteering.
Like what?
We used to do like TED.
I see. That's a volunteer.
Yeah, I don't have an opportunity to do that so much anymore. But we should start something. We should start a volunteer program of something
for young people.
I don't know, something. I'll think about it later.
Okay.
Anyway, guys.
That's why you keep yourself so busy. You come up with a lot of new ideas.
I come up with stuff for me to do. That's the problem. It's like whatever. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Well, guys, that's been our show. Me and Natsuki are going to record a Patreon video after this, because I owe our patrons a couple of videos, and Natsuki hasn't been in for a while. So, but anyway, if you guys want to join our Patreon group, there'll be a link in the video description. Otherwise, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we basically upload a episode every week. If you like this kind of news talk variety show, please subscribe.
Yeah, we have matching clothes today. Rock
oh my
and
God,
rock.
we do.
Yeah.
We do. Look at that. Dude, I like my bags anyway. I stayed out really late last night, so I had bags.
You didn't sleep last night?
No.
Oh.
Like every night. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.